fix. You want it all. You want it all, so you pick apart your victims one by one like Mother Nature. Hiding in the shadows, it's a feeling that you love to give up. Pouring kerosene and yet another happy ending. Is this the only bridge you're burning? I know you won't go the other way. And if I stay close, shame on me. I guess I've had enough of what you've had to say. But you won't leave until you've got your hold on me. Your hold on me. Break the silence as you grace the room. A shift in motion keeps you locked on what you hope to consume. And you won't leave until you've had your fix. You want it all. You want it all, so you pick apart your victims one by one like Mother Nature. Hiding in the shadows, it's a feeling that you love to give up. Pouring kerosene and yet another happy ending. Is this the only bridge you're burning? I know you won't go the other way. And if I stay close.
Hi. Hello. Who we got here? We got Pumpkin Tarantula. I think you changed your name there. And we got Aaron Tan. Your exam is almost over. That's cool. Good. Hope you studied hard and get that passing grade. I haven't gone to study since 4 years ago. Oh, okay. I'm eating some fruit because, that's good for you. And hello, Megaseptile joining in. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to the people that are here. We are going to be reacting to yet another video. I'm dressed up as a worm. Okay. What? Pumpkin worm? Okay. Um, yeah, we're here doing another reaction live stream. We've been doing a lot of these recently. This one's again about cosmic theory. This one isn't going to be nearly as long as the last one. That was a long one. That was a biggie. Um, but yeah, we're gonna be doing this again. So I don't know how long we're gonna be going for today. I don't think we're gonna be going for that long. Maybe an hour, not even an hour. Maybe I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Big Brother Simon is watching us. He is watching us because he's right here. Jump scare. Uh, happy Halloween. We are celebrating Spoopy Month this month, so we got a lot of spooky content for you guys planned. We already have our first video. Gary did an unboxing of an anime character who I don't know, who he doesn't even know either, but he just liked it. He liked the design a whole lot, so he decided to buy it and do an unboxing for it. So it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. The figure, whatever it is, what Berserk, Guts Berserker, something like that, is pretty cool. Quick, hide your opinions. Apparently, apparently he left Twitter for good. Apparently, allegedly. So we'll see. We'll see if he, stays gone or if he comes back like he always does. We'll see. Um, yeah, so this is an interview by Nick News. We did a reaction to one of his other videos. It was basically like this. He was interviewing Simon Bennett. Um, and this was before Cosmic Fury. He was talking about like little behind the scenes stuff and about Cosmic Fury, of course, non-spoilery stuff because it was before the airing of Cosmic Fury and but he also talked about like Once a Ranger and not Once a Ranger, Once and Always and Dino Fury. Interesting stuff. It's really interesting to, regardless of your opinion on Simon Bennett, it's really interesting to hear, the showrunner talk about, behind the scenes stuff and secrets and, happenings that we don't see, that we don't know about. Um, because it really shows how dumb Hasbro can get. Not gonna lie, like Hasbro is not exactly the smartest company, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I love his show. Yeah, I mean, I love his shows too. I mean, the shows he's been on have been great. Well, I mean, Ninja Steel was Ninja Steel, but like Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury, I mean, those were phenomenal. Those were great. I love them. I really like them. Um, a lot of people decided that they were gonna hate Dino Fury after everyone said they loved Dino Fury. So I don't know what that was about. Twitter. That's always a I don't know. Twitter is Twitter, huh? Yeah, let's just watch this. Yeah, let's just watch. You should be able to hear it as well. So yeah, let's just do
Hey
this.
everyone, and welcome back, Simon Bennett, to Nick News. I'm really excited to finally can talk about Power Ranger Cosmic Fury. For me, Power
I
Ranger
think he's
Cosmic Fury
frozen.
was
I
much
think he's frozen. Is he frozen? That's hilarious. He's gonna be frozen this entire
more
time.
than I expected, and Cosmic Fury. For me, Power Ranger Cosmic Fury was much more than I expected.
Yeah, honestly, I loved Cosmic Theory, guys. Check out my review if you haven't already. Review, sorry, excuse me, I just sneezed. Not review, reaction. I haven't done my review yet. I still need to film my review and everything. I was actually writing my notes for the review not that long ago. So that will be, I'll have to film that probably this weekend. I always try to like film during the week, but I'm always so tired after work and stuff. So, you know, we're just gonna we're just gonna film that over the weekend and then edit that and then yeah, that will be out. But anyways,
And I don't know where to start, how to start. This series was what Power Ranger needed so much, a story worthy of being the end of an era. So it's time to talk about Cosmic Fury.
yes, let's talk about
Thank
it,
you for
please.
that. Don't know what to say. It does feel different to
Can you
Power
guys
Rangers that's gone before. It's one story across
can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear the video? Let me know.
10
Story, yeah.
episodes. It's not. It's one story. It does feel different to Power Rangers that's gone before. It's one story across
One
10
story, yeah.
episodes. It's not like Monster of the Week or Moral of the Day or this.
It's
is
a long movie.
Focus. It's a long movie split into 10 episodes.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, pretty much.
it was so nice to be able to relax all those rules that had informed the show previously, and to do something where the story was strong
You can
and
hear
was
it? All right,
driving
cool.
everything.
Cool.
And we took most of the characters in new directions as well, because they'd finished their story arcs at the end of Dino Fury. So the challenge was, how do we kick them off and send them in new directions in a way that'll keep the audience hooked and give us lots of story material? And it worked, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask
Good
you
job. Good
first
stuff.
this, because we learned that 22 or maybe 20 episodes were written at the beginning. Has anything been removed that you will have loved for us to see in the reduction of these episodes?
We did have to take quite a lot out when we found out that we were only making 10. We'd written the stories for 20 episodes. The main thing that I miss is we did more stories around Izzy and Fern's relationship.
Oh, Moonju's meet Cosmic Fury when? Yeah, for real. No, King Oju's got to meet Cosmic Fury. They're traveling in space and stuff. Morphin in outer space.
Okay.
Some aspects of it are still there, which is about Izzy not wanting Fern to put herself in harm's way and being concerned for her safety, and Fern wanting adventures and wanting to not feel so protected by Izzy. That's still there. But in the original version, we actually had them breaking up as a couple.
Okay.
In an environment where they were having to live closely with a whole bunch of friends, and what happens when a couple breaks up but you can't get away from each other.
Now we heard a lot of this stuff probably I would imagine during there was what's it called, not threads, what's the thing called on Twitter, the podcast stuff that you could do. I forgot the live voice chat thing that you can do on Twitter. What's it called? Spaces. That's what it's called. Spaces. There was a Spaces that someone hosted. I don't remember who, or I don't know who, but Simon Bennett was on it, and he was talking about some of these things. So I'm just kind of like, I just want to watch this to see if there's anything else to Cosmic Fury that we didn't know about. So it's interesting stuff though. Like, he's talking about Izzy and Fern's relationship, and um, how, if it was originally supposed to be a 20 episode season, which was cut down to 10, and we could have seen more of like Izzy and Fern's relationship, them breaking up and stuff. So that would have been interesting, but
and you're still living in the same
Hasbro got to be Hasbro.
house. That kind of situation up, but you can't get away from each other, and you're still living in the same house. That kind of situation. They did reconcile their differences, so they were back together by the end of the season, because we didn't want it to be totally negative. But the pressure we put those characters under was much stronger, and there was a
but that kind of things happen in real life.
Exactly.
Time to say the human Ragnarok.
And so we had to kind of make choices about what our priorities were, and Zato's pathway was definitely a priority, because we knew where we wanted to end the season, and so you have to do that one justice. Amelia finding herself leader as Red Ranger, there was more originally in the 20 episode season about that. We had to cut back on that. And the same with Harvey's story in terms of learning to live with a disability. There was a lot more to that story in the original version. So we managed to do most of what we wanted to do, but we couldn't go as deep as we wanted to go when the number of
I would have liked to
was
see
reduced.
that. Like more about Amelia being Red Ranger and Javi's arm and stuff. That would have been nice. Someone's rapping. Hello, Uni Warrior Thomas. Hello. Sorry, I did not say hi to you. How you doing? How are you?
Explanation.
How did y'all enjoy Cosmic Fury? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. How did y'all enjoy it?
Some way or another, we fans
explanation.
In some way or another, we fans feel that we have been heard a series with a lot of development, without filler scenes, and something as epic as this season. What suggestions were taken into account when making decisions?
Well, you've named several of them, but I tend to agree with the fans' comments in those areas. Like I've said elsewhere, that I do listen in on what people are saying about the show, and when I agree,
good. I'm doing well, thank you. I'm not done with it, but I like it so far. Oh, good, nice. Okay, well, hopefully there might be spoilers in this, so I don't know how much you care about spoilers. So yeah, be wary when you're watching this.
Agree with someone's criticism or comment, I might try and take it on board. Obviously, criticism or comment on what people are saying about the show. And when I agree with someone's criticism or comment, I might try and take it on board. Obviously, if the comment is made after we've finished anything, then it's a bit late to do anything about that. But all the way through Ninja Steel and Beast Morphers, I was, frequenting Ranger Board and just clocking what
Okay,
the fan
bye,
reaction to
Uni
the show
Warrior.
was, and started to incorporate changes in Dino Fury, but felt that we could go much further with Cosmic Fury because the traditional story structure, which was very much dependent on the Sentai footage, was no longer the case. And also, we were being encouraged by Hasbro to change up the way we told the stories and have more serial elements, have more character development, have more threads. And the other thing was that because all the ground fights were original, we weren't using any Super Sentai footage, but we didn't have a bigger budget or any more time to shoot. We actually we couldn't do as much in terms of fight content. So everything we did do had to count, had to be really
Young, hip Toku fans? Oh, nah, I'm not young. I ain't young and hip. I'm an old man.
good, had to be significant. But it also meant there was more room within the episodes for drama scenes and character development. And also not having the comedy duo scenes meant that, again, there was more room for drama and character development, which is my bread and butter. I love that stuff, and the cast was certainly up to the challenge, and as were the directors. So that was a significant change.
I love how everything is perfectly explained and how everything managed to have it a right development from Amelia's making decisions little by little to becoming a leader, or Saito's arc and Ion's sadness. I think all that managed to move me a lot. And when making decisions, are several more stories option considered that is other stories arc for each character?
Sorry, what was the question again?
The question is, by the time to take to making some decisions about the story arcs of the different characters, did you consider another options of arcs, another stories?
No, the first thing we do
I didn't get the
before we
question
start
at first.
writing the episodes is work out what the character arcs are across the season.
By
And it
Toku
was
standards.
based on what we already knew about the characters from Dino Fury, what kind of stories we wanted to tell, what was that was new to explore about each of those characters, what risks we could take, like what things actually appealed to us, me and Becca and Alwyn, that hadn't been done before. And so those are the kind of things. But you start from character and story arcs, and then you start weaving them together and structuring the episodes. That's the next thing. There's nothing that we didn't really change our mind or reject anything. Getting Harvey and his arm past the various gatekeepers was a challenge because it was a pretty extreme thing to do in Power Rangers. And it had to be handled in a way that wasn't bloody or grotesque. But again, we had advice from various disability advisory groups about how we should and shouldn't depict it.
Hold on. Zato and Hercules will be best friends? Not even. What are you talking about? They are polar opposites. Oh my god.
Depict people's reactions to his disability and shouldn't depict it, and depict people's react. We had advice from various disability advisory groups about how we should and shouldn't depict it, and depict people's reactions to his disability and how he copes with the disability. To my mind, I'd like to have gone deeper into that, but the episode number partly, but also the fact it's a kid's show, and there's a lot of stuff that we couldn't do or say, limited what we were able to do in that case.
I can't explain.
That's yeah, no, that part when Javi loses his arm, that's crazy. That was crazy. So that's good that they got, people like experts, I guess, to you know, help them through that.
Explain to you the way I cried when Ion met Sordon. When I heard "May the power protect you," I cried when
Oh.
Ion met Sordon. When I heard "May the power protect you," I understood it was Sordon. I had to pause the episode and cry, and it was such a subtle way to make it appear that I still can't believe it. But I need to ask you this: has there been any consideration of bringing Sordon in another way than this? And if it's this, so why did they give up on that idea?
If you're thinking of Once and Always and Billy's search for Zordon in that, Cosmic Fury was written first. So
hello,
and
Keske.
our instruction
Hello.
from Hasbro
How you
was
doing?
that Once and Always had to be standalone and shouldn't feed into Cosmic Fury. Different audiences, I guess. And they didn't want any serialized threads or continuity. So we had to make Once and Always with as little continuity as possible. But we knew, having already done Cosmic Fury, that Billy would still be thinking about Zordon because Cosmic Fury happens after Once and Always, and he hasn't let that idea go. But we also didn't want...
A lot of people were very confused about that for some reason. Cosmic Fury happens after Once and Always, so there you go. I mean, it makes sense to me. Oh. Oh! There's Gary. There's Gary with his Halloween spirit. Say hello to Gary, everyone.
After Once and Always, and he hasn't let that idea go. But we also didn't want to bring back Zordon in his tube, and it would feel that his sacrifice had been in vain or not meant as much as it did to everyone. And so we really wanted to hint that he's still out there somewhere.
So, which is interesting as to like, then why was it such a huge plot point to bring back Zordon in Once and Always, though? If you didn't want to do that. Well, I mean, they didn't bring him back, so I guess there's that.
In vain or not meant as much as it did to everyone. And so we really wanted to hint that he's still out there somewhere,
Okay.
rather than bring him back in all his glory. And in fact, we leave Cosmic Fury with Billy just having learned about May the Power Protect You, thanks to Harvey's song, and going, this means he could still be out there somewhere. And we know, even though the show is not going to go there, that Billy's not going to let go of that quest, and he may find something out. I'm really pleased that you mentioned that was when you realized that he was Zordon. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if the audiences would click then, or if they would click during the concert at the end.
No, yeah. A lot of people just did not get it. Like, I don't know. I got it. I don't know. Let me know about you guys. Like, to you guys who watched Once and Always, or not Once and Always, Cosmic Fury. Like, when did you realize that Zato was Zordon when Ion was talking to Zato? Cause like I got it like as soon as he said may the power protect you to Ion, I was like, oh my god, that's that's Zordon. But like for a lot of people just did not get that. And I'm like, how did you not? How did you not? Keske asks, what's your favorite scene in Power Rangers Cosmic Fury? Honestly, just that one, the Zordon scene. Like that whenever I get posed that question, because I've gotten that question a couple times now on Twitter and whatever. Yeah, it has to be that scene. Like every time I think about, okay, what's my favorite scene? What scene stands out the most to me? It's that scene because there was just a jaw-dropping moment, you know. That was like are you Zordon? That and the Megazords. The Megazords, all the five classic Megazords that came back, that was dope. That was pretty dope. But yeah, definitely the Zordon thing was just absolutely phenomenal.
I wasn't sure I wasn't sure if the audiences would click then, or if they would click during the concert at the end when Billy learns from. Who did he learn it from?
Yeah, when Billy and Ion talk with Billy.
Ion tells Billy that Harvey got it from him because he met this entity in the void. I got to direct those scenes in the White Room, and Russell did such a beautiful job in terms of how subtly he played that moment.
He did.
He
did a phenomenal job. I agree. He did wonderfully. Like when that it was played perfectly. It was perfect. Shout outs to him. Shout outs to his actor. Also, Zato is like literally one of the best Rangers ever. Like literally.
I seem to remember something I used to say in times of need, may the power protect you. And my hope was always that at least the adult fans would cheer and cry at that point. So it's working.
I cry a lot at that part, and
absolutely, I was like,
okay. I love how they handled the inclusion in this season, and I'm not talking about Easy and Fair. I love them, but for Javi Arms and also for Mewtwo's body, it was so subtle and direct that I found very beautiful. How did you decide on this Javi story arc and
Zato was like, no one should feel like they don't belong in their own body or something like that. Yeah, that was good. That was a good message.
The truth is, I must say that.
How about you, Keske? What part did you like? What did all of y'all in the comments? What did you think? What did you think, chat? What was your favorite scene in Cosmic Fury? Zordon and Zato both have Z at the start of their name. Yeah, that's true.
Many dubbed that everything will be shown so explicitly, and yet they have given us a blow of reality that was perfect. Because you have to see someone without his arm.
For us, for me and Becca and Alwyn, it's really about representing a world that is diverse in the way that the real world is. And for people who might be watching Power Rangers, who might have a disability, watching the show and thinking, yeah, that's me. You know, I can be one of these people. I can be a Power Ranger too. So you mentioned Izzy and Fern, you mentioned Harvey's disability. What was the other thing you mentioned?
Oh, sorry, what? Mewtwo's
what was the third thing? Yeah, that was deliberate. I mean, Mucus feeling really unhappy in a body that wasn't hers, and Zato recognizing that and transforming her back into the
magic.
Yeah. I mean, we were thinking of transgender people when we wrote that, no doubt about it. People who are not comfortable in their body until they actually are able to achieve the form where they feel they can be themselves. Obviously, in a kids show, we would never be explicit, but that was the subtext for what we were doing. And again, it was we've got one more shot at this, guys, because I think Becca, Alwyn, and I knew that this was probably the last hurrah for us anyway in terms of Power Rangers.
It was really nice because it was just a little moment, but the moment is perfect and the dialogues are perfect. So it was really.
Zeta's got a line, something like no one should have to live in a body that they don't feel comfortable in, something like that.
Yeah.
And I believe strongly in inclusivity and diversity and celebrating humanity in all its shapes and forms. And I know that there's been a lot of hate actually online. A lot of people.
He's a good guy. Pookie's a good guy, you know.
Blocked for me pushing my so-called.
A lot of people his age do not think that. Like they just don't think that way. So that's nice. Oh, KFC! Oh my god! Oh my god!
It's not really having an agenda. A lot of people are blocked for me. There's been a lot of hate actually online. A lot of people are blocked for me pushing my so-called woke agenda. It's not really having an agenda, and it's not being woke. It's about appreciating people, in every shape and form. People are people.
Exactly.
I really thought
Well said. Well said. I love that. That was great. Forever Blue fan pitch revised. Billy makes a group of smart Blue Rangers, but end up getting Beetleborg Venjix out, and they have to fight him and have to. Okay, interesting.
The suites were great, and I love that there are original costumes. What took me by surprise and really excited me were the Dark Oli suit and the Master Zed costumes. Master
Yeah.
Zed is crazy. I didn't expect it at all, and
Yeah.
it left.
Yeah, the Master Zed suit I was not expecting at all. I'm very happy that I avoided spoilers online. I was not on Twitter for like the 3 or 4 days before Cosmic Fury aired, but yeah, I was not expecting Master Zed at all. I didn't know that was gonna be a thing. Like usually, leaks would have said something, but that was a nice surprise. And then the Dark Rangers, the not the Dark Ranger suit, Ollie's evil Ranger suit, whatever you want to call it. There needs to be an official name for that suit, huh? Yeah, it's good.
Me very amazed. How were
Rangers.
these suites designed?
Um,
My favorite part of Cosmic Fury is the Dino Charge Dark Ranger first debut. Nice, nice. That's a good one.
How were these suites designed?
Well, Tracy Collins, who is our production designer, designed that Master Zed suit. And it was fabricated by Toei, who also made the Lord Zed suit, which was a reuse of the suit that we had built for Dino Fury. I've got lots of reviews of the by Toei, who also made the Lord Zed suit, which was a reuse of the suit that we had built for Dino Fury.
Oh, so Toei actually made the Lord Zed suit for Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
I've got lots of behind the scenes photos
for Cosmic Fury, I guess. That's interesting.
That we had built for Dino Fury. I've got lots
Arc
of behind
Blue
the scenes
Ranger, that's
suits
cool.
that we had built for
Arc Blue or Dark Blue?
Dino Fury. I've got lots of behind the scenes photos that I'm not going to post until the show's actually dropped.
Please.
Of the various suits and designs and things. But
Please.
I think the Master Zed suit is exceptional. It's really scary and it's huge. It's very cool.
I love
the
it.
The Dark Ranger suit was in storage. Toby sent it out to us. I know there's controversy about the mask edging of the visor being blue, not red.
The Dark Ranger.
That was the costume we were sent, and Toei didn't really want us to repaint it when we mentioned the color discrepancy. And the red edging, I don't believe, is canon in the television show. I think it's something that comes from the comics. So, given that they're separate universes as far as we're concerned, we don't read the comics. I think we're okay with it. But
I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's an interesting kit bash, but it worked. It worked. I saw no problem with it.
I know that there's a certain faction that will get outraged about the smallest things. There has to be something.
Yo, okay. Just tiny rant here. Legit. Super Sentai, and I'm not blaming. I'm not gonna. Okay, well, I'm just gonna say it and then I'll explain. Super Sentai has ruined a lot of people's opinions on Power Rangers. I'm not blaming Sentai though. I'm not blaming Sentai. I'm blaming the people, especially the adult fan base, especially the ones on Twitter, who let Super Sentai ruin their opinions or perception on Power Rangers. Like, they watched Super Sentai, and then they expect all those things in Sentai to be adapted into Power Rangers. But these people don't remember that, hey, these are two completely different shows. You know? So, man. Yeah, it's... Hey, what's Japan's reaction to Cosmic Fury? I have no idea. What is Japan's reaction to Cosmic Fury? I don't know. Japan doesn't get Cosmic Fury. That's their reaction. Japan can't watch Cosmic Fury unless they have a VPN. Which I did. That's exactly what I did. I paid for a VPN, which I didn't want to do, but I did.
There's a certain faction that will
I really
all those things. There has to be something to be upset about.
I really love Bagilia's plot twist. I didn't expect her and Scrozzle to betray Lorced, and not to mention the reverse shock wave to eradicate.
Yeah, the whole Bajilia thing, honestly, at first I was like, oh man, she's gonna betray Zed. And then as the season went on, I'm like, okay, maybe it won't happen. But then she ended up doing it. I was like, oh, so that was a pleasant surprise. Even with Scrozzle too, when he betrayed Zed. I think that was pleasant. That was pleasantly surprised. So that was good. Good stuff.
Betray Lorced, and not to mention the reverse shock wave to eradicate the good guys from the universe. It was something tremendous. How did this original villain come about? Bagillionaire.
Bajillionaire and Squillionaire. We wanted a mother and daughter combo. We wanted villains to represent gross billionaire capitalism at its worst, I guess.
Interesting. A lot of money jokes.
We're also conscious of the gender balance in the show, like wanting as much of a equal male-female balance as we can achieve, and
good.
We applied that with Dino Fury, but obviously the Ranger team wasn't fully equal, but we achieved it in Cosmic Fury. And given that we had
honestly, it did better than Q Ranger in that regard for sure.
Zed and Scrozzle and various other male villains, we wanted a female villain pairing with Squillia and Bajilia. In terms of her being squiddy, it was just a random idea that came out of brainstorming. Let's give her tentacles and make her a squid-related alien. And we liked the squid logo for her corporation.
Squid Ink.
Squid Ink.
It's really cool.
Ekron Allen love puns, and Squillionaire and Bajillionaire. And once we had those characters, it just became second nature. The suits were designed by Tracy Collins, and again were made by Toei in Japan. She sends very detailed 3D model drawings.
It's cool that they get Toei to
Pantone color references for everything.
At least the monster suits.
They
definitely did not make the Cosmic Fury suits.
I wish, in a more expensive production with more time and money, all those tentacles would be CG animated. Rather than rubber. All those. I wish, in a more expensive production with more time and money, all those tentacles would be CG animated. Rather than rubber, which would be fantastic.
There may be people who criticize that the final battle with Master Zed was more verbal battle, or that they defeat him with the power of love. In fact, that happened to me when I saw it, but then I reflect and I say to myself, in this 10 episode, the Ranger did not have a break. They spent their time fighting battle after battle. And it seems perfect to me that they had a talk and made him decide.
It reminded me of, what was that thing? Shattered Grid in the comics, right? Shattered Grid, that's what they did, right? There was no final battle. It was just, they talked to Draken, right? The team just talked to Draken. I'm hungry forever. Hello. But yeah, no, that's what it reminded me of. So, and no one gave flack for that. So why is this getting flack?
Through the reason, and furthermore,
but to be fair, I was like expecting a final fight, but it's because there's always a final fight. But in this case, I also thought about it too afterwards, and it's like, no, wait, that was the perfect way to solve that problem. Knowing Zato and his journey and everything, and what he's gone through, and him solving his problem, that huge problem that way. That like I thought that was perfect. Yeah, there needs to be a sitcom.
Or Sato believes that putting him
What's your first impression, Power Rangers Cosmic Fury Transformation? Oh, my impression of the first Cosmic Fury transformation. That was. Are you talking about in the base when they're in the base and the four morph? So we got like it was red, green, gold, and black. Um, it was cool. It was cool that they. It wasn't like because they morphed in the base. That's like they learned about the powers and everything in the base. Um, I I thought it was cool. I was kind of expecting them to like first get their powers like during battle, because that's what happens sometimes, or like getting their powers at the Zord of what was it the altar of Zordnia? That's what it's called, I think. I thought they were gonna get their powers there, but no, I liked how they did it. I like the tone shift and like the unshackled restraints from the Osaban era. I think it was a big improvement from the last few years. Has an epilogue to Dino Fury. It was a good season. Has an ending to Power Rangers that was persistent. I mean, it had to be a Cosmic Fury slash Dino Fury ending before a Power Rangers ending because I don't think they 100% knew that this was going to be the end. So
together with Rita and making him
I wish there was a battleizer for the last season. I mean, that would have been cool. That would have been cool. Again, Amelia with the battleizer, that would have been sick. That would have been pretty dope.
talk that, and made him decide through the reason. And furthermore, Sato believes that putting him together with Rita and making him believe that he won little by little will make him maybe good again. So, how was the decision made to do this scene inside the tube and not a hand-to-hand battle?
Well, it's partly production necessity because we just didn't have the time to shoot a huge battle, but also it was more a battle of wills. And we liked the idea that the big bad turned out to be Bajilia, who got the better of Zed by capturing him in the tube. So once Zed was in the tube, he was disempowered, and it then became whether he would agree to Zato's plan and step down from that powerful position or not. So it became a drama scene rather than an action scene. But the climactic battle was really the one in space with the various Megazords coming to the rescue as the Rangers are trying to flee through Bajilia's space forces. I actually think that Master Zed would have been too strong for the Ranger team to
Yeah, that too. Like how would they have gone combat? Like how would they have like gone hand to hand with Master Zed? He had the powers of 6 master what are they called? Morphin Masters. Like how would they have how else would they have done like beat Zed? For the people that like Mighty Morphin, I see how Billy and Zed and Zordon were great for them, but the effort didn't feel like it was their huh? It was their prepping the rest of the series. Huh? But the effort didn't feel like it was repping the rest of this. Oh, okay, okay. Well, I mean, there was Mick and there was the Dino Charge Ranger, so there were other seasons present. And there were like definitely a bunch of other callbacks like New Tech City and they mentioned Reefside and things like that. So of course they're gonna appeal a lot of it to Mighty Morphin for sure. I mean that's just a given.
have won to have overcome him. It was only because in the tube dimension his powers didn't work that they were able to reason with him and get him to agree to his powers to have overcome him. it was only because in the tube dimension his powers didn't work that they were able to reason with him and get him to agree to the solution. And being trapped for eternity with Rita Repulsa is it's a hell of sorts.
Yeah. I can't help but mention the ending. While Javi sings and the Rangers are celebrating, Billy is uneasy and wants to get Zordon back. And I know that this era of Power Rangers, it's over, but have they left that ending open with Billy in case Hasbro at some point decides to pick up this story? I'm going to pray to all the gods from the old universe. So
that wasn't the
one day that
intention.
happened.
That wasn't the plan.
Okay.
That was not the plan. The plan at the end of Dino Fury was very much to leave the story open-ended, so that hopefully the powers that be would be encouraged to accept a sequel because of the huge cliffhanger. This was not intended to be a cliffhanger ending. It was intended to be a happy resolution ending with everyone moving on into their lives together. But Billy's quest is unresolved. So he learns something in that final scene, which is about who Ion met in the white space and the fact that Zordon may still be alive.
Which is interesting that that Billy learns something. Like the last thing that Billy does in this era of Power Rangers is that he learns something new. And that's really interesting for a character like Billy, who's super smart. He knows everything. So I like that.
Somewhere in the grid.
Billy and Heckle morphing moment was awesome. Only if Ollie was there. Yeah, I know, right? Forever Blue. That would have been cool. Have Ollie versus the Dark Ranger and Billy. That would have been pretty cool.
So it does give Billy a new direction. He doesn't know these Rangers particularly well. He's not going to be leaping around dancing with them on stage. He's still quite a serious character who's got his single-minded goal.
Yeah.
And we know he's going to head out into space or into the grid or somehow trying to find this entity. But it was really just a true to character ending rather than a to be continued note that we were intending to finish on.
Yeah, it is the first season where 99% of footage is original. What were the biggest production and post-production challenges this season?
The biggest production challenges were time, because we were shooting a lot more original material in the same.
And I could tell because a lot of the editing things that they did was weird. Like some of the voices were weird. I could tell like some of the lines that some of the actors said and how it was delivered. It was strange. Like they were like struggling to remember the line. Like you could kind of tell with some of them. And I don't think it's the actor's fault. I think it seemed like it was just more of a time issue. Like they just didn't have time to reshoot certain scenes. It's unfortunate, which they did, but it is what it is. And then yeah, some of the things that they edited, it was like, oh, that was rushed. And there are like names, like the Megazord names were different. Like, well, the dragon one. Like they said it was a Dragon Fury Megazord at one point, and then it was Cosmic Dragon Megazord at another point. So yeah.
Time frame. Like on average we will shoot an episode in 3 days. So a 3-episode block is across 9 days, and to shoot all original fight footage, which because action is much more time consuming to shoot than dialogue based drama, was tough. It was tough on our action unit. I guess the other thing was it was such a short shoot compared to what we're used to. Like we're used to shooting 44 episodes at a time across a sort of 6 to 8 month period. I think we were only in production for less than 3 months on the 10 episodes. It might only have been 2 months. So it felt like we were just getting going, and then it was all over. It was kind of a little bit sad in a way, because the Ranger actors were back on their planes and we'd only just got underway. And then, of course, spending more than a year in
character development for Billy. I'm telling you.
it's a little bittersweet that we couldn't have the same amount of time and enjoyment that we'd had on previous seasons.
I really enjoyed seeing Tariq, Lani, Izzy, and Fern's parent pop up and the other characters. And above all, I enjoyed the beautiful participation that they gave them involved in the plot. But I would like to know what was happened to Santora. Why did she only
Yeah.
appear in the final pic photo with the baby?
The actress wasn't available. Is the answer to
Oh,
that? She had to return to the States for some reason and couldn't do the shoot. She would have liked to, but it was just one of those things.
Okay.
Another interesting reveal I can give now is that the reason we made Ollie bad during the season was because while we were writing Cosmic Fury, we didn't know if Kai would be available or not. It was possible. He was the only one of the actors who wasn't able to commit.
Okay.
And so we had to write in such a way that if he had to stay a suit actor in a helmet the whole time, voiced by Kai from the States, then it would work that way. Fortunately for us, Kai did become available and did join the show, but we'd already written it by that stage and we could see his face. So it was a contingency, you know. If he couldn't come to New Zealand, then Blue Ranger would have to never morph out of suit and would keep making him evil, keeps him away from the rest of the Rangers. So he's in Zed and Scrozzle's world rather than the Ranger world.
Yeah, that's a great revelation secret.
Not seeing Ollie's face for the entire 10 episodes. That would have been weird. But glad he came back.
So it was a solution. It was a solution.
Yeah, it was a solution to okay.
I wonder how that would affect the last scene then. How would that affect? Yeah, because he just wouldn't be there, or like what? Maybe him and his mom would go to Japan or so. I don't. The ending might have been different. I don't know.
At the moment that the Ranger
Yeah, Dino Fury cast honestly is really good, which is why they brought him on for a third season. So I'm really glad that they got to do a third season. Yeah, they did a great job with hiding Ollie.
managed to free everyone from Lord Zed's prison, we see that Javi's parents see what happened to his arm, and he said that he will give them an explanation later. Was an explanation about it filmed at in some point then removed, or because I thought Javi was going to reveal to them that I'm a Ranger, I'm a Power Ranger.
No, the reason we didn't go into that was because of the advice we were getting about how to handle depiction of disability on screen. We really didn't we couldn't show anyone being upset by the fact that Harvey had lost an arm and what that meant. Everyone had to be encouraging, which worked in the bits that we had, like Billy very much mentors him and helps him in the early stages. But to have had upset parents dealing with the fact that their child is now disabled, which would be the truthful reaction, I think, at least at first, we weren't able to do that. And another thing is that
yeah. I mean, obviously, like if I lost an arm, I'd be pretty upset. You know, like that's just the reality.
For Harvey to tell them the whole story, which is a story that the audience already knows, is actually not good storytelling or drama. It just becomes an exposition dump of stuff that the viewers already know. So it's better that it happens off screen for both those reasons. I know it's nice to see the Garcias again, and I think that having family members, it always gives a sense of a world beyond just the Ranger team, and it makes it seem more realistic. And it's great that the characters do have families and lives beyond just the team.
It's just interesting because I think they're the only parents that don't know that their children are Rangers, if I'm not mistaken, right? Everyone else's parents, at least like the ones that we've seen on show, yeah, they don't. Well, yeah, no, that's everyone's parents, huh? Yeah, that's everyone's parents that we, yeah, Ollie's mom, Amelia's parents, and then the Garcias. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they're the only ones that don't know that they're Rangers. So that's interesting. Ollie was based. Yeah, Ollie's actor killed it. Yeah. No, he did great.
What was like? What was it like to bring him back?
Yeah, he loved being evil for sure. I think Simon Bennett mentioned it too in the spaces. He's I'm pretty sure he said that.
David Just, Billy. What was like? What was it like to bring him back? David Just, Billy, well, Mechanic and Heckle.
It was great. I mean, I know Kelson Henderson well. We worked together for many years on Power Rangers and other shows, and
Oh yeah,
he runs a
That's right.
very good steak restaurant in Central Auckland called Tony's. Runs a very good steak restaurant in Central Auckland called Tony's. And Kelson Henderson well. We worked together for many years on Power Rangers and other shows, and he runs a very good steak restaurant in Central Auckland called Tony's. We
Interesting.
go to his restaurant from time to time.
Oh, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I gotta go to New Zealand. Check it out. I really want. So New Zealand's definitely one of the places I really want to go to.
So Mick was like bringing back a family member because he was part of Dino Fury, and he was a big part of Cosmic Fury, obviously, and the writers love him and the crew love him.
Yeah, he's
Billy,
great. I want to meet him.
We'd already shot Once and Always, so David Yost had been in New Zealand for a couple of months before we started filming Cosmic Fury, and he was fantastic. It was great to have someone with his gravitas and seniority and experience of the Ranger world and lore on board with us. We'd written Cosmic Fury not knowing there was going to be a Once and Always, so in a way, we'd always planned for Billy to be part of Cosmic Fury, and his involvement was a big part of demonstrating what made this season special as a 30th anniversary season.
Yeah.
And then of course Once and Always happened, and Billy was part of that along with the other returning.
So you thought
Rangers.
you thought first to come back Billy come back writing Cosmic Fury.
Yes.
Before Once and Always.
Yeah, we didn't know about Once and Always, so it felt when David agreed to come on board for 10 episodes of Cosmic Fury, we were so excited because it was a coup. It still is.
Ion doesn't even talk about his parents. Yeah, no, he never did.
But the thunder had been stolen a little by the fact that he had already appeared in Once and Always, even though that was written second. So having Heckle come back, that was new for Cosmic Fury. And the writers, Becker and Alwyn, always loved the actor and loved the character and wished that we'd been able to morph him in Dino Charge. So in a way, for them, it was like finishing something that they'd always wanted to do but never been able to achieve
I'm
in
glad
the
they
past.
did it though. That's awesome that they actually finally did it.
How did you decide that Sato is now a master morphine?
Yeah, Morphin Master.
Morphine Master. Sorry, master in the Spanish is different. Yeah, Morphine Master.
It felt like the appropriate end of his journey to us, because he had died in Dino Fury.
Yeah.
And then he had been reborn as this kind of semi-mystical White Ranger. And he was, right through Cosmic Fury, he vanishes to start with, and they have to find him. And then he's got powers that they...
Power Rangers spin off The Adventures of Ion, Billy, and Mick. I like that. We gotta do that. Let's do it. Come on, Netflix.
Can't explain or understand using the Morphin Master's staff. And to us, we wanted to finish his journey in a way that was even more significant than we'd finished with him in Dino Fury. And having a Ranger transition to become a Morphin Master, we felt, and he was called Zenith Ranger, which is like the highest point. We actually felt by having him become a Morphin Master, he's become godlike by the end. It doesn't get any.
I know, right? You would have. I mean, you would have thought that Hasbro, them, Dino Fury slash Cosmic Fury and Beast Morphers are Hasbro seasons. You would have thought that, hey, let's have them cross over. But nope, that didn't happen. That would have been nice to see.
Bigger or more powerful than he has become by the end of the season, which is bigger or more. He's become godlike by the end. It doesn't get any bigger or more powerful than he has become by the end of the season, which is partly why I was so upset by all the accusations of racism that have been flying around online about you demoted Zato and promoted a white woman to be Red Ranger. I keep saying it's not a demotion, but I can't tell them the story because that would be the biggest spoiler ever. So I've just got to wait for people to see it and see if they still think it's racist. I hope it's not, because that was never the intention.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the Spaces, Simon Bennett did kind of comment on that because it does go beyond the narrative. It goes beyond like the written narrative. It's more than that. It's what the Red Ranger represents, like beyond the story. So yeah.
I have to go to therapy because of Saito. I want to ask you about the different planets we see that appear in the series. How did you create or choose the different planets?
Yeah, there are a lot that they went to.
Well, Eltar was a throwback, an Easter egg. We knew it was Zordon's planet. Sorry, what were you asking about?
I'm glad they went to Eltar though. Finally, we finally saw Eltar. I thought that was awesome.
We were talking about the planets.
Yes. So Eltar was significant to Zordon, and I think Zed felt it was the ultimate conquest for him to base himself there. Zordnia, I think, has reference in canon, but we wanted a planet where the Rangers would find their Zords. And Zordnia was the obvious name. It happened to be the planet where the Morphin Masters had put the crystal prison that Lord Zed was captured in, and coincidentally was discovered by Bagilia's forces before the start of the season. Eridus, I think it was Eridus was the name of the desert planet. We needed we needed a desert planet because of the scuttleworms, which were a costume, a suit that we'd inherited from Q Ranger, and we designed.
That's trigger word. Q Ranger is a trigger word for for Toku fans now. Oh man, I swear Toku Twitter has ruined Q Ranger for me. Like I can't look at Q Ranger anymore and just like not think about the whole thing about people need to get over it, man. God, like Cosmic Fury is not Q Ranger. Sorry, like it sucks. I know, sucks.
And built the baby scuttleworms, which we actually called we called sand maggots in the early drafts of the script.
Sand maggots. Okay.
We wanted them to look disgusting like maggots with sharp teeth. There was actually a life-size model of those, which I'd have loved to have kept, but we sent back to the States afterwards. And I love those characters. So we needed a desert planet for them to be stranded on for those first few episodes. And we needed a mining planet, I can't remember the name of it, for where they discover the Dragon Zord and they do their heavy metal gig, which was a lot of fun. I don't think that's a planet that exists in canon. I think that was a new one that was invented for the show.
Yeah.
And of course, Earth.
I don't remember the name.
I never thought that the Orange Ranger came from Solon. It was a beautiful scene. Yeah. I really love that. Ranger came from Solon. It was a beautiful scene.
I wasn't expecting that either.
I really love that.
Solon-saurus.
How it was to take that decision.
Well, we knew that every ranger had to be connected to a dinosaur,
Yeah.
and we just thought it was a beautiful thing if Fern had developed a friendship with Solon over the time she'd been in the ship, and Solon had been looking after her, and then Fern had rescued Solon, and the act of rescuing Solon had proved herself worthy of becoming a ranger, and it was Solon's dinosaur spirit that transferred to her that fueled her ranger powers, and it made perfect sense on a kind of emotional level, and
Yeah, it did.
we're really fond of that moment too.
It did. It did make perfect sense.
Okay, right. And what other secrets can you tell us about the season? Things we never thought.
I'm not sure. I think I might have given them all away. I'm sure there will be things that come to mind after we finish this chat that I should have mentioned.
Yeah.
There was nothing really. We didn't have any significant problems or anything that we had to redo. There was some new rules that there were some new people in Hasbro brand who had started with Cosmic Fury and had not really been on board with Dino Fury.
Yeah.
So we had to deal with rules like Rangers can only pilot Zords when morphed, and in the past we'd had unmorphed.
Sorry, I don't like Q Ranger. It's just stupid and annoying noises. I mean, I like Q Ranger. I don't think it's the best season, and I don't think they have the best suits. They're cool. They just weren't. They're just not. They're not worth the they're not worth arguing about. You know? Like they're not worth the energy that people are, giving it. Like like they're cool, but they're not worth all that energy and all those arguments and stuff. Like I don't know. They're not the best suits. They're not bad. They're good actually. I like them, but they're not the best. Maji Ranger's best. And we got Mystic Force, so we okay. We okay there.
Yeah.
So we had to deal with rules like Rangers can only pilot Zords when morphed, and in the past we'd had
Rangers can only pilot Zords when morphed. Okay, that's why. Why did Hasbro say that? That's weird.
unmorphed Rangers piloting Zords, and that just created some challenges for us. It meant that when they hadn't got their Ranger powers and were trapped on Eridus, they couldn't pilot the Zords because they couldn't morph. So we couldn't actually have a Zord fight in that episode. Just little issues like that.
Good point. Good point. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
We had to work our way around.
Why would they say that though? Like, what's the reasoning behind that? Why can't they pilot a Zord unmorphed? Whatever.
Questions too about only.
Hello, Megadong. Yeah, I mean, um, it's no secret that the Power Rangers fan base is terrible. It's really bad. Like the Power Rangers fans are really bad. So, it's just always been that way since, the internet's been a thing.
Our way around. There were questions too about only morphed Rangers should be able to use the Ranger weapons, whereas in previous seasons we'd had unmorphed Rangers using the Ranger weapons.
Yeah.
So we fought back on that one because if that had been the case, Fern would not have been able to take the morpher and use the blaster aspect of it to fight the Scuttleworms, which means that she would never have morphed and never become Orange Ranger. And we just didn't have any other way from a story point of view, of making that happen. So yeah, that was a challenge, was actually just negotiating our way around some new people's ideas about how the show should operate.
That's dumb. That's dumb. Why are they getting these new people to say these dumb things? That's stupid. Hasbro dumb, dude. Hasbro's not smart. whoever is running Hasbro, whoever is making these decisions at Hasbro, these people are just straight up not smart. They've said some weird stuff that doesn't make any sense. It's just not just this what he's saying now, but what he's the things that they've said before too. Is weird. Like what? Like the Dino Fury Rangers literally used their weapons in the last season. Like, why not let them use it? I mean, they did luckily, but like it would have been weird if, oh yeah, you can't use weapons now, but you were able to do it back then. Yeah, honestly, like Simon, it seemed like the writers really pushed for it stuff, which is something that people on Twitter choose to ignore. People on Twitter are terrible. Like straight up. I'm sorry.
as opposed to how we felt it had always functioned in the past.
And I really like that the Rangers
We felt it had new people's ideas about how the show should operate, as opposed to how we felt it had always functioned in the past.
And I really like that the Rangers combined their weapons again. That was something cool.
That was cool, yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, when there were the howls of protest about it not happening in Once and Always, why did they not combine their weapons? They should have done. You don't know your Power Rangers. As I actually knew that we were doing exactly that with Once and Always, but again, I couldn't say anything.
Cool. Oh, well, this season made me forget the length of the episodes, removing the traditional
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't care if it didn't happen in Once and Always. And the combining weapons in Cosmic Fury was cool, so whatever.
Makes you more involved in the plot, and you can enjoy something that doesn't feel like like it's ending. So Cosmic Fury for me rates a 10 out of 10. For me, it was really perfect, and as a fan, I'm really, really happy about this season, and that's why I want to say thank you again, and again. It was a really good season.
Thank you so much. That is lovely to hear. I'm proud of it, as I've said, and I hope that fans will really enjoy it as they and revisit it and rewatch it as they wait for whatever the future of Power Rangers might hold in
I've
store.
been rewatching it.
At this time I'm working, doing a lot of videos to publish in October. So I'm watching the episode every day because I'm trying to find details and talking about the different things. So I'm working a lot and I'm watching the season all the time.
Great. Well, thank you. Thanks for your time today.
Okay. Well, Simon, thank you so much for the whole interview and all your time for me. I really appreciate this conversation this time, and it was really nice to meet you.
You're most welcome. The same. All the best.
Thank you so much. Well, let's finish this video. So again, thank you so much, and to all the people, please suscríbanse al canal, activen campanita y recuerden que en @nicknews.org me pueden seguir. Amigos, chao.
All right, there you go. There you go, right there. Interesting stuff. Some weird decisions from Hasbro, as usual, as always. Hey, there's Heroes of Fandom. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it there. Yeah, I'm gonna watch Cosmic Fury again. I've been writing my notes for my review of the season, and I do want to do episode reviews as well. So that will happen eventually. So I'm gonna do first I'm gonna do a whole season review, and then I'll do episode reviews periodically. So there you go. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna end it there. And let's see well, first, hold on, don't go. What am I doing? What are we doing? What are we plugging? Spoopy month. Spoopy month this month. You know? Hey, spoopy month. Yeah. Spoopy month. That's it. That's pretty much it. That's all I gotta say. All right. I will catch y'all later. Thank you all for joining. We'll see you next time.